This is KGW News at Sunrise.
It's just a shame that, as they say, necessity is the mother of invention.
I make a few phone calls, I pull a few strings, we get lucky.
Yeah, they recognize that Portland has a big car theft problem, so they did something about it. We spoke to the guys behind a Facebook group that even police are recommending to car theft victims.
Also this morning, thousands of PGE and Pacific Power customers could be without power over the next few days because of increased wildfire risks. So we're going to let you know exactly where and when the power might go up coming up here in the next few minutes. Power might go out, excuse me.
So that was a lenticular cloud, and admittedly, it looked like it could have been a steam vent.
Yeah, social media scare yesterday all over Washington. Twitter just exploded because people thought Mount Rainier was erupting. Coming up, seismologists explain it was really just a cloud.
Wah, wah. Wah, wah,
which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday Eve, as we like to say. The weather today, we do have a couple things to talk about that are kind of serious, but boy, around here in the metro area, perfect.
Today it's great, and we have a lot of fire coverage coming up. Tomorrow's hot 90-degree weather with an east wind pattern will be kind of the first episode or test, for lack of a better word, since that Labor Day fire of
2 years ago.
A couple years back now. Yeah, so that's a big part of our story. Here's a look at where we're at this morning. I want to show you the temperature map because we have quite a few of you waking up in the 40s, including Sherwood, Tigard, Hillsborough, Forest Grove, Scappoose. There's a little early fall preview for you, right? 46 in Dallas, 46 out in Sheridan. We have 40s in Salem and Kaiser. We have 57 out of PDX. We are mainly clear. We have light winds. We have a nice dry air mass that's going to produce low humidity with clear blue skies and just really nice temps. 70 at noon, 81 at 5 o'clock. Enjoy it. We'll talk about the high fire danger and the warming temperatures starting tomorrow coming up on my complete forecast.
All right, sounds good, Rod.
We had to winch it out, which was a whole thing too, and then drove it out.
That man is talking about the moment he got his 1981 Chevy Camaro back months after it was stolen. Now, his story is not uncommon. He's actually one of thousands of people whose cars were stolen this year in Portland.
And the problem seems to be getting worse. According to Portland police, more than 3,300 vehicles were reported stolen in the first 7 months of 2020. In 2021, that jumped to more than 4,100. And this year, it spiked with a whopping 6,300 stolen cars reported from January 1st through July. Many of these crime victims are now turning to a Facebook group for help. It's called PDX Stolen Cars, and it has 10,000 members. They post police reports, VIN numbers, and descriptions, and they've helped recover hundreds of cars.
I dive into it. I get on my laptop. I tell everybody I know that's good at this, we need to figure out who this owner is. I make a few phone calls, I pull a few strings, we get lucky.
We also looked into what happens to some cars once they're stolen. We will have the full story posted on KGW.com later this morning. An update now to that strike threat from Ridgefield teachers over their contract. Last night, the union agreed to schedule another bargaining session after both sides couldn't reach a deal in yesterday's meeting. So if nothing is reached at the negotiations later today, teachers plan to strike tomorrow. We've told you the union is asking for larger pay raises each year, smaller class sizes, and investments in special ed. We'll bring you the latest on air and online at KGW.com. Well, meanwhile, school is canceled again today in Seattle because teachers there are on strike. The first day of class was yesterday, but that did not happen as educators in more than 100 public schools across the city walked off the job. Teachers say they're concerned about pay, mental health supports, and staffing ratios for both special ed and multilingual students, while the district said it's, quote, disappointed. No word on when or if they'll return to the bargaining table.
PGE and Pacific Power customers are faced with the possibility of a public safety power shutoff the next few days. With temperatures climbing back into the 90s and east winds in the forecast, there's an increased risk of wildfire danger. So we're starting with Pacific Power. The company sent out notices to about 12,000 customers, mainly people living in these areas we're showing on the screen. The potential power shutoff would start early tomorrow morning and last through Saturday.
crews will be out there patrolling lines after the major gusts have kind of passed through the area. And so they're looking for any debris or interference on the lines, or if any repairs need to be made. And so once that visual inspection is done, that's when we'll know it's safe to turn the power back on.
Meanwhile, PGE's power shutoffs could impact even more people. So there's a map on the PGE website that shows what communities are most at risk. It's mostly rural areas outside of Sandy, Estacada, Malala, Silverton, McMinnville, and Forest Grove. PGE says it aims to give up to 4 hours notice before it shuts off anyone's power.
So we're also tracking the wildfires burning across Oregon, starting with the largest right now in Wallowa County out in eastern Oregon. It's called the Double Creek Fire. It is 64,000 acres, 0% containment. The community of Imnaha has been evacuated. Firefighters say the winds and hot weather have fueled this growth. They expect that to continue. Crews are wrapping buildings in fire-resistant tarps to protect them. Now to Central Oregon, where the Cedar Creek fire in Lane and Deschutes County drastically shifted yesterday. Now this started at the end of August by lightning. It's near Waldo Lake. You can see this is the Eugene area. Here's Bend. Here's where that fire is. And this morning we're talking about level 3 evacuations on this 18,000 acre fire. Now we're talking about areas near Wickiup Reservoir. All of this red is level 3 go now. Waldo Lake, Devil's Lake, this is a super popular area outside of Lapine and Bend for camping and hiking. This area in the mustard yellow, that is level 2, so they're getting ready to go. And the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office issued that evacuation for all of those campgrounds up and around all of the Cascade Lakes. Now, take a look at this photo we have of the fire plume. This is a look at the Cedar Creek fire, and I don't know if we can drop that banner down there because it really is a gorgeous picture. There it is, the Cedar Creek fire shown from Powell Butte's Brasada Ranch. This was taken by Tom Credell. We will keep updating you on this fire. It is 12% contained.
Now to some of the other headlines we're tracking on this Thursday morning. Police arrested a man in connection with the overdose death of a Portland teenager. Investigators searched the home of 38-year-old Dwayne Hill in Gresham yesterday, and they found hundreds of counterfeit oxycodone pills manufactured with fentanyl. When police went inside, they say Hill tried to flush some of those pills down the toilet. Investigators believe a 17-year-old died back in June after taking those drugs, and they say Hill had been distributing them in Portland for almost a year. 3 downtown Portland hotels are now facing foreclosure. According to Willamette Week, they include the Dossier on Southwest Alder, the Dunaway Hotel on Southwest Taylor, and the Hilton Portland downtown on 6th Avenue. Combined, the Dunaway and Hilton have almost 800 guest rooms, making them among the largest hotels in the metro area. Willamette Week reports those 2 properties go up for sale on September 13th. The Dossier goes up for auction at the end of November. Portland Parks and Rec has closed one of the ramps on the East Bank Esplanade because of low water levels in the Willamette River. The ramp is just south of Duckworth Dock. The dock is still open, you just have to access it from the north end. There is a fence and a sign posted warning people about the closure. And those are some of your Thursday morning headlines.
Before we get to Rod's forecast, take a look at this over Mount Rainier yesterday. Fast-moving clouds appeared right above the mountain, and some people thought those clouds might actually be smoke coming from Rainier. So geologists were quick to post messages showing views from other webcams. And the U.S. Volcano Twitter account posted a tweet that said, "There is a cloud on top of Mount Rainier."
Wah, wah, wah.
It is not erupting. It is not venting. Seismologists say Mount Rainier is actually one of the best monitored volcanoes in the world. They say if it did start to massively vent, they would know weeks or at least days ahead of time.
Now, I'm kind of chuckling because that is so common. You would have a difficult time finding something that, in fact, is more common in our area. Lenticular clouds being cap clouds, kind of hunkering down on top of a mountain. We see it on Mount Hood all the time.
That's why I'm surprised that it caused such a stir, because we do see it all the time.
It was a tourist group from Kansas probably that started this.
You can't predict what those people up in Seattle are going to say or do. You know, just unpredictable. Predict the weather for us, Pat.
Yes, here we go. All right, I'm going to start with the headline that Nina took us through, that one fire that's over in the Central Oregon area. So this map is all about tomorrow. Let me make that perfectly clear. The warnings I'm talking about start tomorrow in the Willamette Valley and up into Southwest Washington at 11 a.m. Friday morning, and will be in place into the day Saturday. But notice how the red flag warning for tomorrow and Saturday blankets all areas west of the Cascades in Washington and Oregon, all the way off to the Oregon coast, okay? Here's what we're dealing with, and I mentioned this to start the show. This will be, I think my memory is correct on this, this will be the first kind of test of how much education we have gained with hot weather and east winds since that episode a few years back over Labor Day weekend, okay? So that's what we're talking about, 90-degree temperatures and a bit of an east wind event. This is this morning, and this morning, just light northwest winds. No color on the map means winds are just expected to be flat calm. But I'm going to play this into tomorrow morning and stop at Friday. Here's tomorrow morning. Look at the difference. Everything's lit up with colors. This purple color would be gusts of 40 miles per hour or higher coming up over some of the Cascade Crest areas. We have 31 mile per hour east winds coming into Portland out of the gorge. Noticeably breezy from the east northeast all the way off of the coast. During the day into tomorrow night and Saturday morning, the winds could get stronger. Here we are, 33 east winds in Hillsborough, wind coming from the east in Portland. Remember, east winds bring the driest, lowest relative humidity air that we ever get at any time. The relative humidity factors tomorrow for the valley, look at the bottom of this graphic, are going to be maybe as low as 15%. So hot inland afternoons, that's in the forecast. Tomorrow closer to the 90s, Saturday closer to 95 in Portland. There are those gusty, dry east winds that I talked about. So all eyes will be on the weather, what the winds are doing, any potential fire starts during the next 2 days, starting tomorrow and Saturday. Here we are this morning, 48 in Salem, 48 in Kelso. It's one of the coolest mornings that we've had so far this late summer season. We will be up into the low 80s, but the relative humidity, is going to be really low. The sky is going to be deep blue. 81, great weather. There's the fire danger concerns with the hot weather Friday, Saturday, and the cool off into the first part of next week, and that's your forecast.
All right, Rod, thank you. Whether it's back to school or back to work, finding healthy, easy lunch ideas to pack could be really difficult. I'm going to highlight some of the best options for older kids and maybe even just all of us heading into the office. That's next.